Everything here started with Barry's call for 40 days of community service, and that was the beginning. That was the seed of everything that you see here now.
Our small group decided that we would pick the Wounded Warriors at Walter Reed at the time. Had no idea what we were doing, didn't know what we were going to see when we get there, didn't know what the need was.
And once we went there, we just had such a great experience. We were humbled, and we knew that we just had to continue to do something like that.
When my husband and I was on our way back home, we had no words for each other. There was nothing to say. We were just silent.
We decided to do that for a number of years, continue to see the troops at Walter Reed. Then, I guess about 3 years ago, we decided to start a nonprofit organization because we could raise more funds to expand our services with barbecues and Christmas visits and gifts and things like that to the troops. And shortly after that, a Marine who was wounded in Afghanistan came to us with the idea of a retreat house. And these retreat houses were springing up all across the country. And Shirley turned to me one day and said, you know, this is something that I want to do.
This place exists, something exists like this, and this is a need for warriors to come to a place that can get away from the hospital environment, bring their family, have a home away from home, something that they miss and probably would never have again in their life.
She found a property, she found this property, and showed it to me and said, I want to put a contract on this property, and I want to start a retreat house. We want to take this idea and run with it. It was probably the last thing I was ever thinking. I was thinking of downsizing at that point with everything I was doing. I have a real estate background, but I said, whatever you want to do, I'm here, and I support it totally. It just happened to be that God's hand was on this whole thing from the beginning.
It was only God that could bring us to peace to say, I can do this. Within the hour or the next day, he brings someone to say, I can take this for you. I can do that. I have a kitchen to offer you. I have furniture to offer you. Had no idea that people would come out in a way that far beyond what we could imagine.
This was a total community service. Everything you see here was donated labor and materials. So I know that I couldn't have done this by myself. We couldn't have done this by the nonprofit organization, couldn't have done it by themselves. Even the volunteers in the beginning couldn't have done it the way God has done it.
2 weeks before the ribbon cutting, okay, we didn't have a deck, okay? We had so many things, major things that needed to be done. And the question is, how is this gonna happen?
It was a pressure cooker. A lot of fears, a lot of concerns that this was going to really happen for us because we were way behind on a lot of things.
There are a number of people that came to me that said simply, guess what, this ribbon cutting will never happen. It's just not going to happen. But God being who he is, he just stepped in, and I'm telling you, in a grand way, he provided everything plus. He provided someone to give us a top-of-the-line deck, okay? He provided a landscaper. One of the top landscaper here in Northern Virginia just came over and just took over everything. Gave us far more than we could ever ask for. Someone to put in a handicap accessible ramp on the front, huge project. Thought we could never get it done. Got it done. In the last 2 weeks, I'm serious, God showed up, and all we could do is just sit in amaze that, my goodness, there he is, on time, as he said he would be, all the time.
We just had to sit back and say, wow, God did it again. And he's always faithful, and it was another moment when we could set up a monument in the desert, if you would.
So with that, I can walk away with peace, knowing over and over, 100% of the time, when he say, I'm gonna do it, he just does it. And not in our way, because our way is so small and so somewhat insignificant, but in his way and his timing, because it's perfect and it's great.
You will understand that what love is. It's loving people and serving people and doing whatever you can do to help, no matter how small or how big you may think it is.
The reality is, love does have a name. I mean, the name is Shirley. The name is John. Christ was love, and that's what he wants us to be. His arms and feet, as we walk through. And so that's what we're going to show these warriors, that, we are walking in love. Christ's name is love. My name is love.